Hey, college wrestling fans, it's JT1Wrestle here. We have a great guest today for the show. Please welcome Newberry assistant wrestling coach, Darrell Brown.
Hey, how we doing, man? I appreciate you having me, Steven.
You bet. Coach Brown, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is Newberry has been very successful the last four seasons. We're talking about first, third, Super Region 2, a super tough super region. And every season, you guys are sending a lot of wrestlers to the NCAA Division II national tournament. Five, six, five, four to the national tournament. Now, for those who don't follow NCAA Division II wrestling, that is extremely tough to do because only the top three in the region get to go to the national tournament. What have you guys done as a program to see that success to where when your guys are heading into that extremely tough qualifier, the Super Region 2, you guys are pushing those kids on through to nationals?
Really, I think it starts, we're relatively speaking not an old program, and I think it starts at our inception with the first head coach. There's only been three head coaches in program history, and when that got turned over to Cy, it was just a continuation of the culture that had already been established. And then when that got turned over from Cy to me in 2021 season, as the head coach, like I said, it was a continuation of the culture that had already been established. We wrestled for a great coach, and we were able to take a lot of what we learned from Valak and a lot of what I learned from Cy and continue to implement that into our program and just trying to keep that tradition rolling. And so, yeah, we're in a region where I think if you listen to some of the other coaches in Division Two, they would tell you that ours isn't as competitive as some of the others. But if you look at a Lander, who's I think they've placed top three and four at the national tournament, they were runner-ups as well. So you look at them, you look at a Pembroke, you look at some of these other programs in our region. It definitely is a tough tournament, and it's a testament to our culture, to our tradition, and also to the guys that we recruit. I mean, they get in here and they work hard day in, day out. They're super committed and really just, like I said, a testament to them.
And speaking of this season in particularly, um, you guys had seven place winners of the Super Region 2. Four of them went on to become NCAA Division 2 qualifiers. Talk a little bit about the 2024-2025 season and the success that you guys had.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be lying to you if I told you I felt like it was a success, man. It was if anything, I felt like it was a huge learning experience for me as a coach. We've traditionally sent five and six to the national tournament, and we broke a 20-year streak of bringing back an NCAA All-American from the national tournament this past season. So, I mean, yes, to some it might seem like a success but for us it was a down year if I'm completely transparent. And I can make excuses and talk about injury and eligibility and yada yada, but everyone's dealing with that. That's nothing that's unique to us. And so, we've taken this off season to really reflect on that 24-25 season on what went well and especially what didn't. And we're excited to implement changes that we've been able to identify that we think will yield immediate results for us next season. And so, I know that a huge chunk of our team they've been able to kind of stick around this summer and be productive. And so I'm excited to see their hard work pay off when we jump into this next season.
Speaking about hard work and jumping into next season and the success it's going to pay off, it was difficult to not have an All-American this season, but going into 2026, you guys have Andrew Reed, Super Region 2 champion returning, Brandon Tatum, who took third last year. I mean, probably I'm not mentioning enough names, but between Reed and Tatum, you guys got two very, very strong hopeful American hopefuls right there.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, I don't know if you know or if you follow Tatum on social media, but he made the decision to transfer and stay closer back
Oh, I didn't
home.
realize that.
Yeah, so he's back at Newman, but we do retain Andrew Reed, who's a two-time national qualifier, Super Region 2 champ, and we also were able to retain two additional qualifiers in Kel Schrader at heavyweight and who placed at the region tournament, but also John Parker, who's a two-time region champ and two-time national qualifier. And Parker's been ranked as high as number six in the country. He took second at Midwest, so he's another hopeful All-American as well as Schrader, who is a JUCO national champ. And so yeah, we got a good core more in those group of guys. But then also I'm excited about our incoming class and even just a lot of the guys that we're not mentioning who were chomping at the bit to be in our lineup and who were in our lineup. I feel like you're going to see a lot of strides.
Well, I tell you what, you just threw me for a huge loop, a very big surprise I'm very happy about. I call him JPW because whenever I write about him, writing out John Parker Wilson, that's just too tiring. So he gets called
Right.
JPW in a lot of my write-ups. I did not
Yeah.
realize he had another year of eligibility.
Hmm.
Very, very happy to hear that because I don't know if you read any of my stuff or not, but when I wrote, the recaps of NCAA Division II wrestling last year, I called him one of the best to never, to not All American last year.
Yeah.
And knowing that he has another shot, that makes me very, very happy because I thought he was a senior last year, so my mistake on that. And with Kel Schrader as well, because
Yeah.
my next question for you was to talk about the seniors you had last year, which I believe Dayton Fields
Yeah.
actually was a senior last year. Talk
Correct.
about Dayton and what he meant to your program.
Oh man, I don't really know where to start. That guy, he a tremendous leader for us, man. I told him when he graduated, he left behind him some really massive shoes to fill. Just always the first guy to take initiative when something needed to be done. He took immense ownership in the program's success and was the one who really was always stepping up. And so, yeah, I told the guys at the end of the year meeting, there's definitely a need now for someone to kind of step up and take charge. But we're in good hands with Schrader, with John Parker, with Reed. Though those guys had 3 years to wrestle with Dayton and observe and learn, and so I see that changing of the guard to happen really smoothly for us. But yeah, man, he's missed, and not just with wrestling. He was a guy who, he worked with admissions. He was an RA, so he worked with housing. Really, just what he gave to Newberry College as an institution, I think, will be missed. And the people over there in admissions, when I'm with recruits, they ask about him all the time. So he's back at home, just bought his first big boy purchase, got him a car, and he's crushing it. So excited to see him continue to be successful.
Very happy to hear that. I also want to talk about you as well as Bryant Blanton and Devin Moore. You guys are all Newberry alumni. You yourself had 143 wins, got fourth place in the D2 Nation. Blanton's right up there with you with 143 wins. He was fourth, first, third in the D2 Nation. Devin Moore took back-to-back eighth place finishes in the D2 Nation. You guys have a very unique environment that all of you are former Newberry wrestlers. What does it mean to your coaching environment to where everyone has been a part of it since day one?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think first shout out to Devin Moore. He just took a job in Florida, just kind of changing gears, and it was an opportunity to advance in his career. So he just took a job there like very recently. But to your point, Cy Wainwright's still around too. He's the former head coach here. And when I took the job from him, he decided to stay at Newberry, and he's a full-time assistant. But he's also really, really involved as well. He travels with us out to Midwest Classic. He serves on the Division II championships committee, so still really, really invested in the program. And to your point, it is a unique environment to have all alumni still coaching, and working with our guys. And for us, I think kind of going back to the tradition I mentioned at the beginning of the interview, I think it's just important to us to maintain that culture and that tradition that was established from day one. And I think there's added level of investment too. Like I went to Newberry, so as a head coach here, and so for Brian and Cy, like we want to see this place continue to thrive and do well.
And one of the things I want to bring up about Coach Blanton is that he's not anymore, but for a long period of time, he was also a coach on the football program. And I'm curious to know during that time, what was it like to have someone that needed to balance coaching football with coaching wrestling? How can you speak to that at all?
Yeah, not too much because when he was doing that, I actually was the head coach at King before I took the job here. And that was in that time when he was serving as a football coach as well. But I do know that it had him stretched pretty thin because obviously it's a full-time gig doing just one sport. So I can't imagine how tough it was for him to try to manage doing two. But they were able to readjust some things budget-wise and finally pull him over to just do wrestling, which was it was a huge thing. And I mean, shortly after that, you could see the results of the program continue to trend in a positive direction. I mean, shortly after he went full time, we had a top 10 finish in the country. I think that was that 2018, 2019 season. And we also had our first national champ in a while. So you could see like just having full-time coaches join on the staff really produce for us. And I think that's been a key to our success as well.
Well, Coach Brown, the last question I have for you today is I would like you to tell the fans out there about the pin pool, what it is, how it works, and how can they become a part of it.
Ah, good question, man. Yeah, so the pin pool it's a wrestling focused fundraiser. It definitely is a little bit labor intensive on my end, but essentially, let's say your son comes to Newberry and little Johnny, his parents want to give $1 for every pin we get. Then if we get, 100 pins at the end of the season, they would just make a gift out to the team for $100. And so it's tiered off to where the more you pledge per pin, the more rewards and incentives you get. And so we have an all conference level, we have a national all American level, a national champ level, and then a Olympic level. And we have donors who pledge at every level, and it's a really successful fundraiser for us. And I like it because while it is a little labor intensive, it gets the guys excited because, I'll give you an example. 2 seasons ago, me and Blanton told the guys that if they got $400 a pin, that was our goal. If they reached that goal to where we were earning $400 a pin, that me and him would make our college weight classes and wrestle in the Newberry Open. And so we launched the pin pool every year with a phone-a-thon. By the end of the phone-a-thon, we had over $500 a pin. So they blew it
Holy
out of the
cow.
water, and we ended up having to wrestle that season. And I told them, I don't care how much y'all raise from now on. I'm not doing it again. But it's a successful fundraiser, and it keeps the focus on the program and on the wrestling. And so the parents enjoy it. I send out monthly updates to keep them posted on how many pins we have throughout the season. We do stats on who has the most pins, who has the fastest pin, and it just keeps all of our fans engaged in the wrestling, which is what it's about.
Yeah, I love that, and I really wish more schools would take advantage of fun ways to raise money. I came across that on your website, and I thought, man, that is such a cool thing, such an awesome idea. I love it.
I
Well, Coach
appreciate it.
Brown, I wanna thank you for being a part of JT1 Wrestle today. We wish the Newberry program the best of success in 2025, 2026.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.